Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the One Step Better Business podcast with Mike and Matt. Hopefully you all are having a great day. Matt, how are you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. Hanging in there. It's been a good day so far. We'll see how the next 30 minutes go.
That's right.
Might change everything. So we've introduced this journey. We've talked about it a lot here on the podcast over multiple weeks now. And if you remember, if you had to kind of go back a little bit, we talked about, what it really looks like to work with us for the first 90 days, what we're trying to accomplish, what those milestones are. Today, we're going to continue that conversation and fast forward out to that 6-month mark. What does it look like? What have we accomplished? How are you feeling in the first 6 months or so of working with us here at Patrick Accounting? And we're going to start to kind of give our finish lines. This is the goal line, I should say, probably better than finish line of what we would expect you, where we would expect you to be within that first 180 days or so. We call that confident. This is where we see our business owners really beginning to develop some confidence in all of their accounting systems, which is always a really good thing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we do that, Mason has a really fun question for us here. If your entire personality had to be described in 3 grocery store items, what would they be? No inappropriate comments allowed.
My whole personality. I'm gonna let Mike answer this one.
This is a tough one.
First, first, Mike.
All right, so cool.
I don't want to answer.
I got first. The first thing I'm gonna say is a potato, just a plain potato, because at times I can be pretty boring, very, very plain, very vanilla, very just like essential, yeah, but like not super exciting. And then the second item is going to be, if you remember going to, they have them at the grocery store, so follow me. If you remember going to like anywhere that is like a touristy type of place, they have the lollipop that is like the swirl one that has like all the different colors on it. That would be number 2, because while I can be a baked potato, I can also have a lot of flair, a lot of flavor, a lot of color.
Hot sauce on this, Mike.
I could have went with hot sauce, but I'm going to go with the super fun lollipop. And then the third one is going to be, you know how you go to the grocery store and you're walking through, you're getting all your food items, and then all of a sudden you turn the corner and there's like a vacuum cleaner there.
Yep.
And you're like, that's unexpected. I don't expect to get that at a grocery store. That's kind of weird. That's going to be my third item, because my personality can be, where did that come from? So those are my 3.
All right. I'm going to start with your staple was a potato. Mine is sugar. So I'm going to say, because it gives you that sugar high and low, I am
ride the roller coaster, baby.
Ride the roller coaster with me first, right? So you got to have some sugar. That's part of my personality. A little sweet, and also, quick and short. I think I'd go to the paper towel section, get some paper towels. I'm not afraid to clean up a mess. I like to fix and put things away and keep making things better. So I think I'd be like a paper towel.
I'm gonna amend that for you, because not only are you at the paper towel section, but pretty close to the paper towel section is like maybe like a hammer.
Yeah.
Because not only do you clean up the mess, sometimes
you're not afraid to break some shit. Not afraid to break some stuff along the way. And then third thing, I'm the random thing as you walk out the door. So it could be batteries, it could be the pack of gum, it could be the soda, because all of a sudden I'm just going to go ahead and just grab something totally out of left field.
It's the spontaneity.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know I needed hot peanuts.
But
there they are.
Ooh, Mentos.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, those are my 3.
That's pretty good.
Not too inaccurate. Spicy, maybe. I don't know.
Pepper.
I thought like,
I was thinking inappropriate pepper, but
Well, you did say, what did you say? Like sugar.
Sugar is quick.
Yeah.
A high and then back to normal, and then high and then back to normal.
Pepper, because if you have too much, it can be too much.
Yeah.
But if you have just the right amount.
I'm a really big bag of red pepper flakes. So, because like A little red pepper is
I
great.
feel like a salt
Yeah.
because I don't
Salt.
think there's a thing as too much pepper for me personally.
You probably do not.
But
Salt, yeah.
salt is, you can definitely have too much salt, but you need salt.
Yeah.
So it's an essential thing, but it can get
A little much.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
So I have 4 ingredients now.
I think 5 because I gave you a hammer
I got a hammer.
to go along.
We're at a Home Depot store.
Yeah.
Yeah. Walmart. I'm at Walmart.
Super Walmart.
Super Walmart.
Makes
I
it
got
a little
everything I
easier.
want.
Yeah. Anyway, that's fine. Feel free to edit that however you need to.
Yeah, Mike, good luck.
Enjoy that.
Mason, good luck at in that one.
All right, so we have gone from day 90 to day 180. This is the point, or kind of one of the points where we've kind of shifted a little bit from getting all the blocking and tackling basics like honed in to where now what we're trying to move towards is you've been educated. We've gotten all of our connections done. We've been producing regular financial statements. We have resolved any back tax issues that maybe that have been discovered, and now we're kind of shifting into I need you to be confident in what is happening, and you're starting to really develop that. You know what? All of this stuff that we're doing is actually making sense, and so this is one of the first areas where you really start to see from our client's perspective that, man, this is really working.
Yeah. I think about this, the journey between 90 days and 180 is, 90 days, we talked about a lot about relief, like, oh, I'm not alone. And, I feel like I'm starting, I think I see a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
I am heading down that tunnel and I feel really good about the direction I'm heading in. I feel like I'm starting to get really in control of things, and I am confident that the decisions I've been making are the right ones. And that's where I feel like that's where I really am. I know that the systems I have in place are starting to, the wheels are happening on a routine basis now. So like, hey, I'm getting financials regularly every month. I understand them. I understand they're going to be right. I know that my tax planning is now going to be more proactive instead of reactive. So we're not just putting out old fires, but we're starting to talk about that plan for, what's going to come up next year. What decisions should I be making? We've confident in our structure.
I think about the baseball analogy. I think about we've spent the first 90 days swinging the bat, trying to get on base. And now we're at day 180. And we're up at the plate and the bases are loaded. I haven't yet hit that home run. I'm not taking a bunch of actions yet. I'm starting to, but like I'm confident that all of the pieces are in place for me to swing this bat and win this game.
Yep.
This is maybe for some business owners the first time they've ever felt that. And there's, again, we still got a lot of work to do. Like I understand things. I haven't yet taken that understanding and then turned it into real action. So there's still a lot of work for me to do. There's still some things I need to understand, but I feel like I have all the pieces in place and I'm ready to take that next step.
Yeah, this is a big monumental shift a lot of times for business owners that as we're working with them, like they feel like they're finally starting to get control over their business the way they want to, and they're confident in the stuff that they're getting done and the systems they have in place, and so they are in control of what's next.
Yeah, I think so. We really have kind of 4 what we call swim lanes that we try to center everything around. It's we talk about the accounting piece of it. The second one is tax. The third is profitability, cash. And then the fourth is systems and processes. And let's start with the fourth of the systems and processes. This is really by that 6-month mark is where you've started to see some of our early efforts of getting systems to communicate with each other, talk to each other. We start to see just some basic automation stuff happening. And where there's not a potential to automate, we have good, clear processes to make sure nothing is getting missed, which is the bedrock of those other 3 swim lanes. Because this is where now I'm confident, again, you're going to hear that word a lot.
Yeah.
I'm confident that my stuff is happening well, and it's not a lot of manual intervention on my end, which is leading to I've regularly been receiving the right financial statements. I'm starting to trust that they're accurate, they're timely, and I've began to grasp the concepts of what I'm actually looking at. So it's not just a weird sheet of paper that I don't understand anymore.
Exactly right. And I'm imagining, like, from the things that we would expect to see some results are, hey, I'm now freeing up some time, so I'm not putting out fires as much. I feel that I'm now, I'll say, starting to think through improving or optimizing what we're doing, making new strategic decisions, because I'm not just having to put out and fix old problems. I'm starting to flip, I think, from reactive to proactive. Is kind of where I'm at this. Hopefully I'm at this start.
Yeah. No longer looking at the rear view, looking at the windshield.
Correct.
Yeah. And it's why do you think it has taken, because we're talking about really 6 months in.
6 months.
Why has it taken 6 months to get to this point?
I think some of it is the changes that are needed are a little, it depends on where you're coming from, obviously, but for most of our newer clients, when they come on board, they usually do not have a lot of these things in place. And so what we're starting to do is we have to educate them on what they're actually getting. We have to educate them on, we have to put out the old fires they've had and get those all wrapped up and fix the system so they don't keep happening. I feel like they probably don't have clear definitions on whose responsibility was what. And so I think there's just a number of different pieces of this thing that just takes some time to lay some foundations. And there's some of these stuff that's going to check a box real quick. Like, hey, having you don't have any tax notices in the past and you don't have a tax situation, that's going to be easy for us to resolve. But hey, do you know you have X, Y, or Z coming up due? And here's what that's going to look like from a financial standpoint. And you don't have a system in place to put that money aside. We have to have that established. We actually have to create those routines. So it's just getting these things from relief to, because you're going from literally, like, I have multiple pains that I'm trying to solve usually, to now where I've gotten relief. I know that the system I'm working is now in place. And now I feel confident that it's going to be done routine every month. I've seen it more than once. A routine is not something you do one time. It takes a couple times of reiteration. It's never perfect the first time. It's going to take some evolution to keep getting those systems and processes just really oiled up.
Yeah. Change is difficult.
Change sucks.
And I think we would be the first to say that most business owners should not be focused on their accounting stuff 100% of their time. Like, this is something that they got to get to where it can work kind of behind the scenes without their oversight, so that they can focus on the things that are actually going to move the needle in their business. And one of the things that we're going to be doing in those first 6 months is building the infrastructure so that that can be true. And if, you got a full-time job that's not worried about this accounting stuff, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that done. And we can't just come in and say, all right, here's the answer on day 3, go do all this stuff differently. Cause you're going to look at us and be like, cool, give me some time to actually do that, because I got these other 18 million different things going on.
Uh-huh.
And so we want to be able to implement change at a digestible rate that's really going to achieve the right outcomes that we're trying to get to, which is your systems are working correctly. You're getting regular, timely, accurate financial information. You know exactly how much you're going to pay in tax. But if we come in and we say, hey, you know what, next year we expect that you're going to have to pay $100,000, whatever it is, that also means that, maybe you don't have it in the budget to adjust savings in the next 3 months, 4 months, but we're going to have to start to build some different cash things so that you can start to do that in month 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
And so, like, it's a long-term planning, which isn't, it takes time to really get
change does not happen overnight.
No, it doesn't. And when it does, it's oftentimes disruptive and people aren't happy.
Yeah. That's probably that's the true statement never been said.
Yeah. When you think about our clients that are getting to that 6 month mark, where we, that confident, what do you think that they're starting to ask questions about that is a little bit different than where they were early on in their journey?
I would imagine they're starting the idea of what if, right? What if here's where I'm at, and I'm starting to ask what if I hired another employee? Or what if I raised my prices? Or what if I wanted to make $1 million in 5 years? Like, what would I have to, I'm starting to think forward. And so based on what they're seeing now, they're starting to think proactively about what's possible. That's what I get to.
Yeah, that's interesting. So
What do
really,
you think?
yeah, I think that's a good one. This is oftentimes the first point where I'm looking at a financial statement. I actually know what I'm looking at.
True.
I'm looking at a profit and loss statement. And I'm actually seeing something that makes sense to me because it's organized, it's structured, and we've talked about it a bunch. And I believe that what it's telling me is true. And I'm asking, well, what could be true if? But I'm also wondering, like, what caused me to get here?
Uh-huh.
What happened that led me to the place where I didn't know what was going on? That now I'm getting a little bit reflective because I don't want to make that mistake again. I'm probably thinking through, what do I not know about the tax stuff that I should be knowing? Or we got the blocking and tackling done, the basics are done. But what else is out there that could impact my tax situation that I haven't yet thought about, or that because you're an expert and I don't know yet? So there's going to be a lot of questions on the what ifs. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah, I think about it, if I'm a restaurant owner, you know, I'm not necessarily thinking about are we profitable as much as I wish we were, but I could be starting to think through like, hey, what changes should I make to my menu because of this? Or what training do I need to do for my people to do a better job of upselling? Or, what kind of how could I improve this system that I have in my back office because of I see that I have a broken issue, a broken problem here. It's not all roses, right? It's not, hey, I'm not as profitable as I want. Great. What are you going to do to take actions on that? You actually have data to start looking at that. And hopefully we have data before this and we're going to have data, but like I have to start thinking proactively how to improve it.
Yeah. Having data just for the sake of having data is no good.
Correct.
I think at this point, I'm starting to see a picture that my numbers are painting that I probably haven't seen before. And back, what questions am I asking? It's about that picture. Well, what does that actually look like? Because then I can start to understand what decisions should I be thinking about.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily what am I actually doing about it, but I'm beginning to uncover the unknowns, because because of the picture that my financial statements and all the accounting stuff is really showing me. And the more that becomes clear, the more confident I am in what's actually happening behind the scenes to get to that point. But then that's going to start to drive action. And in the next, maybe we'll probably do another podcast on this. That next stage is really about action. It's what I'm actually accomplishing. But I'm probably still, I'm confident that everything is working well. I'm confident I made the right decision. I'm confident that my systems are talking, that I'm getting good information. But I probably in the back of my head, and I'm thinking, but what does this actually mean? How does this actually impact me? What do I do with it now?
Right.
And those are all things that are going to lead to that next stage of success, or at least actions in my organization. If things aren't going well, it could be something bad. But either way, I now have an understanding of what I need to be thinking about next.
The part that I think about when I think about confidence where they are in the stages, they're finally, for the first time ever, probably making decisions off financial statement. That's hard to believe, but that's probably true. I probably am starting to feel like I'm making informed decisions, not guessing in the dark. And that's our goal in this process. I feel like our clients a lot of times don't understand the things that we are providing to them, and they don't know what they're supposed to do with it. And when we give them a tax return, they don't really understand like what that really means. I want them to have a clear understanding of all that stuff. And I think that with that understanding will come that confidence of, okay, I get it now. I'm ready to start making decisions.
Yeah, I think informed decisions is a really good word there, because it's not that you're making decisions for the first time.
You've made a billion
decisions. But sometimes what you're going to find is that the decisions that you made were really good decisions supported by actual facts, whereas before they were just really good decisions, And so sometimes you get to pat yourself on the back and say, you know what, my intuition was right there. Like
that's good. And I think I make a lot of gut. I think I make a lot of decisions with my gut, and then hopefully back it up with facts after the fact. I wish I had more decisions I made from facts that turn into I'm making a decision based off facts. And so this is what we're trying to get to.
Yep. I think it's a good place. Any last thoughts?
No, I hope that at this point we're at the 180 day mark or so, and you are feeling like I am in control of my business. I am in control of what I'm getting. And if you were there, you're right where you're supposed to be.
Yep, absolutely. And so that's where we're at. 180 days. Confidence is going to be a big indicator of success in working with Patrick Accounting and in your business as we get to that final destination of really thriving. So thanks for listening. Hopefully you had a good time and learned something new. If there's anything that we can do for you, please reach out and let us know. Otherwise, we'll see you next time.